Major League Baseball's opening day is less than a week away. Rob Manfred completed his first year in January as a game's 10th commissioner. He replaced Bud Selig as commissioner. Manfred saw the Kansas City Royals win their first World Series in 30 years. He rejected slugger Pete Rose's reinstatement bid, and he watched an MLB exhibition game in Cuba. Only on CBS This Morning, Rob Manfred is here with the next milestone for the league. Commissioner, welcome.
Thank you.
Boy, the game in Cuba with the president and Raul Castro in attendance, and also Derek Jeter. Tell me what it means for the future.
Well, I think that, I hope it's the beginning of us getting to a change in the relationship between the United States and Cuba that allows Cuban players to come here and return home freely. The current restrictions have created a situation that's not safe for players, and frankly, a situation we don't want to be associated with. Over the longer term, you know, Cuba's a place where baseball's part of the culture, and those are markets that we like, and we hope to develop that market as a place where baseball can be played, Major League Baseball can be played on a regular basis.
Now, could the president do that by executive order?
There has to be regulatory changes that would be done through the Office of Foreign Assets Control to allow the players to move. We believe those changes could be made without a lifting of the embargo.
Okay.
You're going into your second year as commissioner. Still loving the job?
It's a great job. No. Absolutely a great job.
I heard you say that one of the most difficult decisions was your decision about Pete Rose. How many times do people stop you on the street and say, Commissioner, you should reinstate?
I actually have been stopped already this morning on the street.
In the
about
building
that.
here?
Yeah, on the way into the building, yep. Young man said his father had sent me a message that Pete should be reinstated, and you know, I was happy to take that input.
What was your major decision-making process?
Well, I think there were two keys to the decision. I think the first one was to focus on what the issue was in front of me. Hall of Fame, whether he gets into the Hall of Fame, is a Hall of Fame issue, and the Hall of Fame is independent from Major League Baseball. The issue in front of me was whether I felt comfortable with the idea that Pete Rose could work in the game and potentially impact the integrity of the play on the field. So that was sort of the first step.
Which raises the question, is there anything that Pete Rose can do that would lead to his reinstatement?
I believe that people are always capable of changing in ways that produces a different
Then tell him
result.
what he has to do.
We had a conversation, Pete and I, about what my concerns were when he came in for his interview. I think he has a pretty good idea about what he would have to do.
What is that?
We didn't hear what you said.
What do you want him to say?
Well, look, I think that if you read the opinion, I think one of the things that was most concerning to me was, given his desire to be reinstated, his inability to stay away from betting on baseball against the backdrop of applying for reinstatement. So I think that he would have to demonstrate to me that he has dealt with whatever issues that he has with respect to gambling and can stay away from those types of behaviors that cost his problems.
Meaning he's still betting on baseball?
He admitted in his interview that he still bets on baseball.
Wow.
One of the things that I've enjoyed watching while you've been in baseball for a year as commissioner is sort of this meshing of baseball's great past, but you're moving it into the future and the technology. And we've seen that in some of the stats apps that are out there.
Right.
Replay, thankfully. Right. What is it that's next, though, this iPad technology that teams are going to use?
Well, baseball's traditionally forbidden the use of electronic devices in the dugout for a lot of reasons related to the integrity of the play on the field. We now will have available for people in the dugout iPad Pros that will contain a variety of types of information that are used to make decisions during the game. We think that the technology will make that decision faster and better.
So we're used to seeing it in the NFL, but it seems the speed of the game obviously is so different. What is this? When a relief pitcher comes in, there's more of that use?
Right. Particularly when there's unexpected events in the game. I think one of the Mets coaches said it best yesterday. You know, we have a game plan going into the game, but when a relief pitcher comes in and you have a particular matchup, there is information that's very useful for managers and coaches to be able to get at quickly.
The data revolution means that you can have so much more input in terms of making a decision today.
Absolutely. And, you know, the visual, if you think about it, when you think about presenting the game, of our field managers and their coaches walking into the dugout with big, thick white notebooks full of information, you know, they're now going to have an iPad Pro. We think it makes the game more consonant with the way people live their lives, and it's important for us.
What's the next big question that you have to answer as commissioner? And baseball has to answer.
I think that the next big question for us is how we make sure that baseball is passed on to the next generation so it remains as popular as it is with people like my age and your age. And I think the technology issues that you referenced earlier are a huge part of that. We're making very extensive efforts to use technology, instant replay, in-market streaming a game so that you can watch a game any way that you want to watch it.
Well, it's clear that you like tech, and that's a good thing for baseball. We could just figure out how to make it shorter. We're so glad that you're here, Commissioner. It's good to see you. And are you as excited as Charlie is that A-Rod is dating a billionaire, Ann Wojcicki? I'm very excied. Charlie doesn't care anything about the dating life, but I think it's great.
One thing about A-Rod, he's always got a development that surprises you.
Well said, Commissioner. Well said.
Go Ann. Rob Manfred and A-Rod too. Rob Manfred, we thank you.